Hey, what's up everybody? This is Angry Hippie Lady, and we are back for another episode here on the YouCraft server. So, I just felt like recording today. It's been a super crazy day. I started my day off with it snowing. Not full out snowing. It was just, a little flaky out. And, no big deal. Didn't really stick. Didn't really do much. Have another chance of snow later, though, which is good. I really like snow. The rest of the North Carolinians don't. But who cares what they think? But then somebody finally came over. I finally got somebody that would come over and check out my car battery. And turns out it was salvageable. My car is running, at least it was today. We'll see how it does after a night in the cold. So yeah, after dealing with that, I had already gotten a friend to take me somewhere that I needed to go today, because that was done way before the people came over. But I was cooking a little something. I was hungry before my friend got here, and I was gonna make some rice. So I turned on the burner and everything, normal stuff, and started smoking a little. I was like, okay, I'll just pop on the fan, everything will be fine. I've never set a burner on fire. It's definitely not gonna catch fire right now, it's perfectly fine. I've seen it smoke a couple times before. Then it really started smoking. I was like, maybe there's just a lot of stuff on there, and it'll burn off eventually, and everything's gonna be fine. and then I go to microwave something really quick because it was frozen salad, and it goes off and everything. And I turn back around, and there's just this blazing fire behind me. And I dropped what I had in my hand. My puppy luckily did not eat my food. My raw chicken that I had, and it was still in the package, so it's not like it hit the ground or anything. But I dropped it and ran to the stove, and I was freaking out, and I threw some salt on it, and at first it didn't look like it was doing anything, but it eventually went out, and the burner was off and everything, and I was just going crazy. And because that was the first time I had ever set anything on fire that I didn't intentionally mean to set fire to. God, that made me sound like an arsonist. No, I like to have bonfires. And whenever the Girl Scouts in my area do anything, I am the fire master. Well, if I'm there. I'm the one that controls the fire, and I have a lot of fun with it. But it was just, it just felt like one thing after another today. It wasn't a terrible day. It definitely was not terrible. It just kept me on my toes, which isn't bad. But I will say that I've been reading this awesome book. I haven't mentioned it on this channel, but I am crazy about books. I love to read and write and all that stuff. And I would talk about it more if I thought people were interested in hearing about either the books I'm reading or whatever I'm writing at the time. But what I'm reading right now it's a series of books that I've been reading for a while, and my brother-in-law, I had talked about it with him, and he's like, wow, people still read this person's books. And I was like, heck yeah, they're good. Why wouldn't somebody read these? The author of the books died back in the 90s, I think. Um, she's really awesome. Anne McCaffrey. Uh, Dragon Riders of Pern is the specific series I'm talking about, but I've read a couple of her other books. They're all good. Um, I just really enjoy the style that she uses. And I'm not really a science fiction person, or typically not too big into the fantasy books, but these have just captivated me. I don't know what it is. The first time I picked up the book, Dad was showing it to me, and I couldn't get through it. At the time, it was not a book for me, and I'm very sad that I didn't read it then. Although if I had read it then I would have been. I probably would have read all the books by now, and that's even sadder to me to think about being done with the books. But I didn't read the first 3 of the series when I first started. I read they're not the last 3 either, but they're kind of like in the middle. It's, oh gosh, I think it's Dragonflight, Dragon's Eye, and the White Dragon. I think were the 3 that I read first. And oh my gosh, I have never, I really liked Harry Potter. I really liked Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I really liked all those books, but these books, they captivated me immediately. Well, not immediately. I won't say that because that's not true. I read the books for quite some time. Every day at school I would, I meant to make it over there, but anyway. I would take the book with me every day, and it'd be kind of, what I read if I ran out of things to do or I had some spare time or whatever. It was one of those books. And, after a while, my friend who's also a writer, who no longer lives around here, which is sad, but he noticed I was reading it more, and I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I was just reading. I don't really think about. I don't really notice the time when I get, pulled in by a book, and so. Oh, I shouldn't do this. Never mind. I was going to go ahead and take it up to the limit that I wanted it to, but I'm just going to have issues getting around it. No, let's keep out these corners. And one time I was sitting in the writing center at my school because he worked there, and just hanging out. And he was busy with somebody who had come in, so I was like, okay, I'll just sit here and read. And I hadn't realized it, but he was trying to get my attention. He was calling my name and stuff like that. And all of a sudden I hear him, and I look up, and he's like, I have never seen somebody be so sober yet so dazed at the same time. And it was because I was still, like, I gone into this, I don't know if it was like a dream or whatever, but reading this book, I was visualizing it and getting so entrapped in the world that this book was creating that I was kind of, I don't know, it wasn't really out of body, because out of body is different, but it was, I guess, similar, maybe. Okay, we gotta go 10 more blocks. I'll keep that F3 up. Well, no, not 10 more blocks, just a few more. 66. 166. It's amazing. And, there's just so much to it. And so, Dragon Riders of Pern, of course. There's Dragon Riders. I don't want to give away too much because it's super awesome and everybody should read it. But they're the people who populate Pern came from Earth originally, but the Pern people that you meet in the book that I was reading at the time of, you know, when when I was in the writing center with my friend, I didn't know that. They didn't know that. The characters didn't know that. They had no recollection of anything because it wasn't taught to them anymore. Um, and so, yeah, they came from Earth and they went to Pern to, you know, start a new life and to, you know, do better this time, I guess, is how to put it. And it's just and there's this thing called Thread that is like the evil thing throughout the series that they have to fight. And I know Thread doesn't sound evil, but it's like this thing that anything that is like any plant life or anything like that, or animals or humans or whatever, um, it if it hits you or touches you or whatever, it eats through you and destroys you. It's amazing to, you know, it's amazing how you take something so innocent sounding like Thread. Thread doesn't sound bad. It's like, well, how can that be a menace? But then you get into this and Thread takes on a whole new life, and the word thread, and I mean just the word between takes on a whole new life because it's used as like this in between worlds. It's between isn't, you know, you're between here and there. It's a whole new dimension, and it really has life in the story and everything, and it's just amazing, and everybody should go read it. um, I've I had a writing class not too long ago, and it was last semester, last spring semester, and my teacher, nobody in my class knew what this book was, but after reading the poetry that I wrote about it and me talking about it and being so excited about it, these people were like, I have to check out this book. I just absolutely, I have to see what has captivated this person so much, especially somebody who doesn't show a lot of emotion out in public. They were like, we've never seen you so animated before, ever. And it's just that amazing of a book. It really is. That it, for a book to actually inspire me to want to, you know, write something about it and go so deep into it and feel so connected to it, it has to be amazing. And I know it's not for everyone. I mean, fantasy is not for everyone. Sci-fi is not for everyone. Some of Anne McCaffrey's books are way, way more sci-fi than Dragon Riders of Pern. Because Dragon Riders of Pern, the later ones, are definitely more fantasy than anything. There's really no science at all in them. Now, the early ones, from what I can tell, do have some sci-fi-ish stuff, but they're definitely still more fantasy than sci-fi. But she does have some sci-fi books that I've found really difficult to get through, but I still get through them because I like them. They're still interesting to me. Her writing style still appeals to me a whole lot. The I Read Adventure is one that I still haven't finished. I'm right now, it's that book that I just kind of read when I have time to read, and I don't really push to read it. It's at that phase right now. But now that I have 3 new Dragon Riders of Pern book, it's definitely on the very far back burner. it's not gonna be touched until those books are gone. But those books don't take me very long to get through because I'm just so entrapped by them, and I just wanna read more. I wanna be in the world more, and it's always so sad to get to the end because I don't have any more of the books, and so I have to sit and wait to get back into the world. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't want to read it so fast because I don't want to leave the world behind, but there's a part of me too that's like, I don't care, I just want to read it. I want to know these characters, I want to know this world, and I want to be there and everything. I've never understood why books have such a strong hold on me. I've always been a big reader. Always. In school, AR was like my favorite thing. I hated taking the tests because I was like, well, I mean, I read it. I could tell you everything about this book right here, right now. I could read you. I could recite lines that I read in the book. I don't understand why I have to take a test. And also, some of the questions in those tests were really dumb. It's like, what's the color of so and so's shirt? What did so and so say after so and so died? It's just like the most random things, and that's the only thing I really hated about it. Well, that and for the AR tests, I always got a really high score. By like fifth or sixth grade, I was supposed to be reading at a college level, and one, not appropriate for a fifth or sixth grader to be reading, and two, I really couldn't read at that level. The thing with the AR placement test, they would, base it on the words that you knew. And although maybe I didn't know those words, it was really easy to tell what context they were being used in and how to, fit them into the sentence and stuff. And so that I always got a really high score on those tests, and there's many books that I have here that I still can't read because they're just so strong, I guess is the word to give it. Not strong. No, I don't like that word for what I'm trying to describe. It's like they're so thick, there's so many words in them that they're very smart words. And not necessarily big, but they're very smart words. The person that uses those words has been well educated, and there is no problem with that. And I'm referring specifically to some Stephen King books that I have. I have yet to fully get through a Stephen King book. It's just there's so many words in there, and I feel so bogged down. And I love his writing, though. But there's just so many words that I have to stop, and I have to mull it over and really think about that word. And I try to figure it out myself before I go and look it up to see if I was right. But oftentimes I get so bogged down with those words that I stop reading. Not out of disinterest, but out of just needing a break from the constant I don't have a word actually. I really like the learning, how I can learn from them. So I can learn so much from those books because I learn new ways to use words that I know, but I also learn new words that can be used. And so I really like that, but sometimes, you know, you just need a break, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because it gets exhausting to a point. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I'm doing something. That's all I know. I have no idea why I'm building these big pillars. So I came up with a few ideas for... My notepad's down here on the ground, way far away from me. I came up with a few ideas for this tower because I think I have like 5 more levels. I'm sorry I'm saying like so much. Words are failing. But I have this level, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more levels, not including the roof, which I'm probably just gonna put a roof over and be done. I'm not gonna put anything on the roof, just because it's so high. I can't really do much with it. So I've already got tree farms, food farms, animal farms, all animal farms. So I was trying to figure out what else to do, and I'm still not all that sold on stuff, but I've come up with ideas such as like a Minecraft museum, which I remember a lot of people doing, but I would do like mobs and, you know, block types and all that kind of stuff. And then so it wouldn't be like one specific kind of thing for the museum. And then I'd also thought about, well, Jeremy suggests, or Dash, or whatever I call him, I don't know what I call him on here, my boyfriend, suggested that I do some kind of like biome or whatever kind of thing. So I thought maybe you could do that, possibly on the top, that way I don't have to put a roof on it. I could do like a snowy biome kind of thing. And had even talked about doing a Zen garden thing, which would be really cool. I don't know how I'd do it inside of a... I don't know. It's doable. But I was looking up ideas for Zen gardens, and then I got to big trees and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that I might take a break here fairly soon on this project and go make a huge tree and possibly make a tree house. I saw so many trees that look super amazing that I definitely want to build one sometime now. And where's my pick? I know I have one. I have a diamond pick somewhere. I swear to it. Is it in here? Yeah. Oh wait, that might be Dash's pick. Anyway, I'm gonna use it because that was his stuff. So you might be seeing a tree soon, maybe. I kind of like the idea. I've always wanted to build a tree house, and I tried one time, but it went. Oh God, I'm lagging so bad. But it went really bad. It looked ugly, and I never really got the roof done. That was back in JMM time. That's on my other channel, the place we don't talk about. Actually, no, I do talk about it a whole lot. I missed that channel because I just liked it, and it has all my old stuff, but it was really crappy stuff. It was crappy stuff, but it was mine. But you know, it was time for a change, and that's what I keep telling myself. So yeah, I've talked so much about books. The end of the episode is actually probably right now. If you want to hear more about the books that I'm reading or books that I have read, just let me know. I would be more than happy to talk about the books that and the books I will be reading. I have plans for books that I'm going to read later on, eventually, when I get the time and money to do so. I mean, I have an extensive library here. A lot of my dad's books I haven't read, and they were given to me. So, yeah. If you want to hear more about those books, I can talk about them. If you don't, well, then I'm probably still going to talk about them some, because reading is such a big part of my life. It's not out of spite for you guys. It's just reading and writing is such a big part of my life that it's kind of hard not to talk about it sometimes. It's just a part of me. And I can't help it. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm sorry if you got terribly bored. But anyway, thank you all for sticking around. And I am Angry Hippie Lady, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.